I never switch. Ice in the wrist. Car on the wrist. All in the wrist. Watch how I flip. Watch how I whip. I'm in the whip. All in the wrist.
The NFL on EA Sports brings us to the banks of the Ohio River and Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the Houston Texans. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Avoids him at the 40. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line.
Well, that return gives him a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
Heads up, lead. Check 55 to Mike. Got you. I got you, son. I got you, son.
On the ground, this is Joe Mixon. Brandon Dunn in on the stop.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd and 7, Dalton. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Check three, check three, check three. 2 by 2. Move. Hands up.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. It's J.J. Watt. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
After the interception, here's Watson. Eluding the ball is out. Watson lost it, and the Bengals grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. In their locker room, they've got a sign that says defense wins championships. And, Charles, they pointed to that this week, said that has to be us. Looking good early.
I like how you saw that because of the bold letters, right? You saw the emphasis that they place on that and what they believe in. And for them, it's every single snap. So it's not just a matter of getting to the quarterback and knocking the ball free. They're trying to read when that ball's going to come free. As soon as those hands separate to throw the ball, they want to be there and have a chance to knock it out.
Second down, Dalton. That's complete to John Ross. That goes for a gain of 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
And Dalton to throw. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. Being chased out left. Now he'll let it go deep down. It's caught inside the 25. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
Rolling to his right. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make something.
And he will have a touchdown. Deshaun Watson keeping it himself from 8 yards out. And the Texans have taken the early lead. He doesn't need a lot of space for an electric run. He showed that there. Heck, they told us this week they were hoping he would break a big one. He just did.
And what did his offensive – remember we talked with the offensive line? And one of the guys, one of the stalwarts said, I don't even have to make a great block for him. If I just breathe bad breath on the guy in front of me, often that opens up enough space for him to go.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Gets it to his running back, Bernard. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield?
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
So Dalton now. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, got stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
Brings up second and 4.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. On second down and 4, Dalton. He'll find his receiver. It's Cody Core. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run on first down. Bernard. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Now Dalton. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20. can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now it's Watson. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Drake Kirkpatrick. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Extra point up and good by Bullock. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And we are tied at 7. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
52's the mic right here.
Fresh off the pick six, it's Watson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hopkins. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. And some room to roam now. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, 46 yards. And the Texans have taken the lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Recon, 132 fighter. Sponge. No. Watch Twitter.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Green with a catch left side. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It's a Bengal 1st down, a pickup of 11.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
High throw, but the catch is made. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
He'll let this go for the end zone. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. Down the numbers. There he goes. And put it on the board. It's 6, a touchdown. So that's now 3 first-half interceptions, and that last one even costlier as it's returned for 6 points. So as a quarterback, how do you regain your focus?
Well, QB 101 says you never show them that you're sweating. Still act like you're the guy, that you've thrown 6 touchdown passes, not 3 interceptions. But he's human. He's got to face up to his teammates. He's got to own up to that. See if he can brace up and also not look over his shoulder and see his backup starting to warm up. It's going to be a tough one for him.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Here's Dalton on the screen. Bernard. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to get
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Check 52.
Watson now to throw. Flush to his right. And this is going to be incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
To throw is Watson. Throw left side, complete to QT. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. On 1st down, it's Watson. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On 2nd down, here's Miller. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Here's Watson, flushed out right. And the catch made by Hopkins. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Watson throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hopkins. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. From the red zone now, Watson under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Credit the sack to Malik Jefferson.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up. By Jesse Bates.
Let's get this.
Intercepted. The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Lead. Right there in the middle. 55. Coming, baby. 368.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Dalton now to pass. He finds his running back, Mixon. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Andy Dalton now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10.
Check 24. Check 24.
Dalton gives to Bernard. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 10 more there and another first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
To throw here, Dalton. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Dalton. Throw left side complete. It's Boyd. What a play that turns out to be. 36 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few.
That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Bengals have got it back to a one-score game. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 18. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Let's go. Trip, trip. You got trips. You got 3. Alert, alert. At 24. What's tight? Tight ends right. What's tight? Tight ends right.
Back to throw, Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On third down, Miller. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. Fourth down now after a loss of 2. Well, as an offense, some drives you have it, some drives you don't. And this one looks like you don't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was third and long. It was screaming for a pass. I think they tried to outguess him there with the running play. They didn't pull him at all.
Went in the wrong direction.
We want this. Slam, slam, slam. Check 43.
They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Whitney Merciless. They're down here in the third quarter trying to get something going. Going to the outside there didn't work out, though.
Yeah, and from the cheap seats and from where you and I are sitting, we did pay a pretty good price to get in here, right? You often wonder to yourself, why do you make that type of a call? That one went for no gain. But I think this offense thinks to itself, if we keep running these plays, eventually something may pop. It just didn't on that one.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On third down, Bernard. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Bullock's kick is good, and that'll bring him back within 4. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10, right at the 30. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that's just running the ball 101 because too much east-west, not enough north-south. Got to get upfield, don't you?
They just kept stringing him out. Before he knew it, he had hit the sideline. A 2nd down pass play there. But it's incomplete.
Intended for Darren Fells. Incomplete. It's 3rd down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. 23 yards, the final tally.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
He went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
To throw again on second down. Watson escaping the pressure right. And some room to work. Past the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. He will push his way down to about the 14. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first. The Texans on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of...
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Andy Dalton now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right, and that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A gain of 32 that time.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
He'll let this go end zone for Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green, 32 yards. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front. Bullock good on the extra point, and that gives him a 3-point lead. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Here we go. Take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They begin with a run by Miller, and he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Watson. And, a a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the return will stop right around the 25. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of two halves, won't you?
Right, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling. I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
Hey, set. 19. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Check nickel. Going down, coming.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
He'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A really nice gain of 25 yards. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
A first down carry now for Miller. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. Back to throw. Forced out to it. And he is in as they have tied it late here in the final minute of the 4th quarter. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused because they still have some work to do?
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Wait! Watching it fire!
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Hey, let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball right here.
He's back to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
He's going to let it fly. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. DJ Reader. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. Throwing now, Watson. Dancing to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. So Houston going to come away here with